So, Afeni Muhammad. Who is Afeni Muhammad? Well, from just the little bit of information that I can gather, she is 26 years old. She is a woman who was going through her own struggles, mentally, maybe physically, maybe spiritually as well, emotionally for sure. And unfortunately, she decided to take out her frustrations with life on her manager because there was a disagreement. So we'll get into a recap for those of you that don't know this story. On Thursday, July 10th, this month, just before 8 o'clock in the morning, in the Detroit area in East Point, Michigan, on 9 Mile at a McDonald's, Afeni Muhammad was working her shift and she was subsequently sent home early by her manager, Jennif Harris, after getting into some kind of verbal dispute with her. So the details of that conversation are currently unknown, but she was sent home. So Afeni apparently goes to a park, drives, I guess, to the nearest park or a park that she goes to. I'm not sure if it's the nearest one or not, but she goes to a park. And after she goes to a park, she gets back in her vehicle and drives back to the McDonald's and takes a knife that she had in her vehicle, apparently, and proceeds to stab her manager, Jennif Harris, as many as 15 times until she died. Now, sometime during this incident, a Good Samaritan was, I believe, in the drive-through area. This all occurred in the drive-through area inside the building of the McDonald's in the drive-through area. But I think the man was outside of in the drive-through area. He saw this happening, and he decided to fire a shot from his gun. He's a licensed gun holder, so he fired a shot in the air, one shot. And I incorrectly stated in another video that he diffused the situation. The situation wasn't diffused because he was not able to stop the murder, unfortunately. But he was able to subdue Afeni Muhammad, until the police showed up and subsequently arrested her. So I guess he held her at gunpoint after she had got done, unfortunately, murdering Jennif. And I guess when she came back, she was wearing a mask. The only reason other employees at the McDonald's were able to identify her was by her hands, I guess. They recognized her hands, so they knew off top that that was her. And like I said, Jennif unfortunately lost her life. Jennif Harris, manager of McDonald's on 9 Mile in East Point, Michigan. She was a mother of 6. She left behind 6 children, ranging from small to big. I think the eldest is like in early 20s, I believe, or close to at least, right? And then the youngest is just a small child. And unfortunately, the father's not in the picture. The father is incarcerated from reports that I've heard. And it's very hard. It's very hard. It's tough. It's unimaginable the amount of grief and pain and confusion that this family, these kids must be going through right now. And even in the interview with the news, one of the children has said that she doesn't know why this person would kill her mom. Like, her mom was nice to everyone. She would give you the shirt off her back. She said a very powerful statement. She said that, her mom died taking care of her children. That's what she was doing. Like I said, she had been at McDonald's for 15 years. So that shows some kind of consistency, a level of dedication to, taking care of your family. She worked her way up to manager to do this, and unfortunately that day, Thursday, July 10th, just before 8 o'clock in the morning, it's crazy. First of all, like, that's just wild. That's just wild. And I don't know what time Afeni started her shift, Afeni being the murderer in question here. Now, she hasn't been convicted, in a court of law as of yet. So these are allegations that at this point it is assumed that she is in fact the murderer, but we'll say alleged murderer, whatever. But I don't know what time she started her shift, but this all occurred just before 8 o'clock in the morning. So that's wild in and of itself, But this is horrible for the kids. definitely horrible for the family members, the friends of Jennif Harris. I believe, according to news reports, she went by Gemma, and I think they pronounced it Gemma and not Jenna. So I think it's Gemma, but my heart really goes out to her family and her loved ones because that's tough. That's just unimaginable. And I could hear the amount of pain and grief in her daughter's voice when she was speaking in front of cameras. And it's heartbreaking. Senseless violence, man. It does not make any sense at all. So, um, that's pretty much the gist of what happened. They got into some kind of verbal dispute at work. She was sent home early. She went to a park, grabbed a knife that was in her vehicle. Apparently, I think I may have incorrectly stated that she went home first and then came back to the restaurant. That part is, I think she just went to she went to a park and then came back and got a knife that was in her car and then went into the restaurant and murdered Jennif Harris. Stabbed her. One of the employees said that she stabbed her everywhere. So at this point, it's unclear exactly where she was stabbed, but an employee had said that she stabbed her everywhere. Just horrible with the kitchen knife, just horrible. So those are the details of what happened on that day, who was involved, what time it happened, what was used. The authorities do have that kitchen knife. They were able to recover not only Afeni Muhammad at the scene of the crime, but they did recover that murder weapon as well as they have witnesses that saw this thing and video surveillance. Now, Afeni, I guess, did try to run and flee from the scene after she had did what she did. But again, there was that good Samaritan there that kept her there at gunpoint. So kudos to him. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to stop the murder, but he was able to keep Afeni there on the scene. So now that we have the recap out of the way, let's get into some more of the nitty gritty details of what's going on after the fact. So, like I said, the family is going through a lot of pain and grief right now. Luckily, and I say luckily, I use that very lightly. Fortunately, I should say, the owner of that McDonald's, and this goes into the question of, does that McDonald's even care about their employees? Like this woman had been working there for 15 years, and she gets murdered by another employee. Like, what are they doing for the family? Do they care about the situation at all? Well, actually, it seems as though yes. So the owner of that McDonald's, that particular McDonald's, his name is Yusuf. Let me get that correct information for you. Um, Yusuf Al Qadroy, I believe. Let me just double check. So I know the first name is Yusuf for sure. So we'll just say that. Yeah, Yusuf Al Qadroy. Al Qadroy is the owner of that particular McDonald's in East Point, Michigan. And apparently, he's paying for the entire funeral. Not only is he paying for the entire funeral, but he's also paying for, or he's in collaboration with Divine Restoration Ministries for the Jennif Harris Legacy Fund. And this fund is going to be used to support her children, her 6 children that she left behind. So I think that was absolutely awesome. So he's not only taking care of the funeral, he's taking care of the Jennif Harris Legacy Fund as well. He's in collaboration with the Restoration Ministries, and he's also responsible for taking care of the vigil that they held for Jennif Harris at that McDonald's. So I think that's absolutely wonderful. Kudos to Mr. Yusuf Al Qadroy for that one, because that was a big question that a lot of people had. Like, does McDonald's even care? Do these big franchises, do these big corporations even care? Well, in this case, it wasn't exactly the corporation of McDonald's specifically, but it was the owner of the franchise of that specific McDonald's that actually reached into his pocket and paid for what he paid for, and helped to be there for that family and those children. So I thought that was absolutely wonderful. So kudos again to Mr. Yusuf for that one. I think I'm not sure if he owns other restaurants or other businesses as well. I did see on his LinkedIn that he was he was the president or CEO of something restaurants. I can't remember what it was at this point. Let me see if I can find it for you real quick. All right, so it says here that Mr. Yusuf Al Qudray is the CEO of the Chief Executive Officer of ALM Family Restaurants. Currently, we operate 15 McDonald's restaurants in Southeast Michigan. So there you have it. Kudos to you, Mr. Yusuf. I think that's great. I think that's great. So he didn't have to do that, and he did. And in this moment, I think that the corporation of McDonald's should actually step up and say something and do something, contribute to the fund, help to take care of this family as well. I know they don't have to, but I just think that that would be a great, not only a great thing to do, you know, as human beings, but you know, it's a great look for the company. You know, it's great for the family. It's, you know, it's just great all around. So um, we have a few other things to get into in regards to Miss Afeni Muhammad, such as, was Afeni bullied, or was she just a bad worker? Because there's this whole thing going right now, and it's like there's a lot of people that actually came to the defense of Afeni. And, you know, to their credit, most of them did say, like, you know, what she did was wrong, and, you know, you can't do that. But, and then that's where the issue comes in. It's like the but part. And it's okay. It's okay to feel sorry for Afeni, as in, like, she was going through something mentally, emotionally, spiritually, whatever. And unfortunately, she made the wrong choice and took someone's life, you know, horrible, you know, just a horrendous thing that she did. But, you know, you can feel sorry for her mental capacity or for her mental state at that time, but also understand that what she did was completely wrong. There is no justification for it. There is no mental gymnastics that you got to work, you know, work out in your brain about, you know, how you should treat people. And that's their point. They're saying, you know, almost in a sense that Miss Jennif Harris, unfortunately the victim in this case, in a way kind of, you know, brought it upon herself for bullying Afeni Muhammad. So here's the question: was Afeni being bullied, or was Jennifer just reprimanding her employee? Was Afeni really being bullied in the workplace, or was she just not doing her damn job? I mean, for real though. And I pose this question, and I'll let you ponder it, but I'll raise you this. There were actual instances in which I've seen Afeni Muhammad posting on Instagram, at least, while she was allegedly, supposedly on the clock. Now, I say allegedly, supposedly, because I don't know if she was on a lunch break at that time and she had posted the video. I don't know. I can't confirm and or deny that. But I can say this: she posted videos, multiple videos of her at work while in uniform, and already that's a no-no. You know what I'm saying? Like, whether you, whatever you think, posting videos in your company uniform is generally a no-no. You know what I'm saying? If it's not against company policy, it's generally just not a great thing to do, because in that capacity, you are representing the company at that moment. And you're posting on your, even if it is your own personal social media, you know what I'm saying? Now, to her credit, let me see. I'm not sure. You know, I'm not even positive. I was gonna say, to Afeni's credit, she didn't actually post her actual name on her Instagram, because she goes under uh, the Risen Phoenix, but she might actually have her name posted on her Instagram. I can't confirm that right now because I'm recording on my phone. I can't look it up, but let me see if I can look it up on my computer real quick. Okay, so I just double checked right now on my computer. Sorry, it takes a little bit on my computer, a little bit of time, so I have to pause the video and come back. But yeah, she actually does use her real name on her Instagram, so I take it back. There is no, to her credit, nothing. She was using her real name on her Instagram, posting videos in her work uniform, potentially on the clock, potentially maybe on her lunch break or some kind of break. I don't know. But she was doing some things, like she was going up in the child's playpen area, the play area of McDonald's, the playhouse. I forget what they call it in McDonald's. You know what I'm talking about, right? She was all up in them tubes, posting videos with the Chucky face filter and stuff like that, listening to Eminem songs. Look, I'm a fan of Eminem. That's my favorite rapper. That's one of my favorite rappers. But when you put everything that she was doing together, plus some of the postings that she had, you really don't know about her, right? So again, was she being bullied, or was she just not doing her damn job? I just told you she posted videos potentially on the clock in her uniform all over her social media, and possibly sketchy videos at that, right? So there is a video of another woman who claims to have been that woman, because if you don't know, Afeni Muhammad has priors. Apparently, she potentially stabbed someone else at a Taco Bell in, I believe, Virginia, if I'm not mistaken. So this woman, I don't know her name, but she spoke and claims to have been that woman at the Taco Bell that Afeni stabbed, potentially, allegedly, right? And she has some things to say. She said that Afeni had been known to um, always call out of work, and she would also always try to get people to cover her shifts or switch shifts with her. And when they didn't switch shifts with her, she would hold that over their head. She would throw fits, throw tantrums. She would even go as far as to threaten them. This woman says that allegedly she was threatened because of that. She also alleged that Afeni would hide underneath of different employees' cars. And in one instance, alleged instance, she hid underneath of an employee's car. And when the employee walked up to his car, she shackled his ankles. Now, again, all of this is alleged. This is all literally he say, she said. And I don't even know if this is true or not, but this video is circulating. So again, I don't know if this is accurate, but this is being talked about. This is being reported that this woman is saying these things. So it's not clear if it's true or not, but this is what I'm hearing. So again, was Afeni being bullied, or was she just not doing her damn job? Afeni made a few videos herself in which she claimed that she was getting into it with the same manager, Jennif Harris, that she unfortunately stabbed to death. She said that, Jennif Harris was getting mad at her because she was making some mistakes. Basically, she said, yeah, it gets busy. I make mistakes, but that's no reason to, bully me. So Afeni Muhammad really felt as though she was being bullied. But she didn't really get into specifics. She did mention that she was potentially being talked about. I mean, in any workplace you're going to be in, people are going to talk. It is just like high school in a lot of places, in most workplaces, actually. I think the situations that Afeni was dealing with, unfortunately, were situations that she just couldn't deal with like an adult. She couldn't deal with them gracefully. She had to make the ultimate decision, the ultimate permanent decision for a temporary situation. Yes, absolutely. She should have just quit. If she felt like she was being bullied that much, she could have found herself another job. But I just told you she had a prior instance, which was actually brought up in court. So this isn't an alleged thing. She has priors that the court understood. And that's why the court said that she's on a $25 million cash bond. She ain't getting out. But we're gonna get back to that. We're gonna get to that later. All right, so we don't know for sure if she was actually bullied. She made some videos stating that she could have been bullied. People were talking behind her back, making fun of her, potentially sending her home early. She said that was unfair, but she never actually told us the reason why she was sent home early to begin with. Because apparently that there were other instances in which she was sent home prior to that day, prior to that deadly event. So this isn't the first time she's been sent home. This was a multiple time thing. So what is she doing that's so bad at work that she has to be sent home? While this random woman who claims to be that worker at Taco Bell that was allegedly stabbed by Afeni says that Afeni was already on some, she was already on some nonsense at work type. You know, she was already saying that she was calling out all the time, trying to switch shifts, getting mad at people when they wouldn't switch, hiding underneath people's cars, playing at work. Maybe she was doing the exact same thing at McDonald's. We don't know. We don't know all these facts. So for a lot of people to say that or allude to Jennifer, this is potentially her fault for being a bully and we should treat people better. Absolutely, we should treat people better, but we don't know if Jennifer was actually the bully in this situation. You're taking the word of a literal murderer, allegedly, right? So that part doesn't make sense to me. Like, of course, absolutely, we should treat people with respect and treat people with dignity, because at the end of the day, that's what's right. But we can't say for certain that this girl was being actually bullied. It could have been that in her mind, she was being bullied because she was being reprimanded by her superior or by her boss. This was her manager. You feel me? So already people don't like managers. We don't like being told what to do when we're grown, but we got to. That's what being grown is. Doing stuff we don't want to do and listening to people that got a higher position than us that we don't want to listen to. But we got to do it. This is how we pay our bills. You know what I'm saying? So again, was she being bullied or was she just a shit worker? You tell me. And I guess more facts will come out in regards to this. So another thing I want to hit on is not only, was she a shit worker, but what is she actually crazy? I mean, think about it. Like, is she actually crazy? Because just looking at her social media, yes. If you look at her social media right now, it's under the Risen Phoenix, but she also has her name on there under Afeni Muhammad. Her videos are a little cringe. I'm not okay. My bad. Her videos are a lot cringe. They are. So apparently she's an aspiring hip hop artist. She's not great. She's not great. But she was aspiring. And she made some other cringe videos about her life. She made some complaints about, the work situations about her being sent home early. She made some allegations about her. I'm not sure if it's her roommate at this point or somebody in her life, roommate or somebody who was basically getting mad at her because she didn't want to have sex with him. And I guess he would do her favors and, do little things for her. And she basically had a meltdown. She had a crash out. She crashed out in her room, basically screaming at the guy behind the wall, saying, I don't want to have sex with you. I don't want to, leave me alone. Leave me alone. Like, it was a literal crash out and she posted it. So it's unclear if she had reported this guy to authorities or, I mean, I don't know if that's a reportable instance. Somebody is pressuring you for sex. I'm not sure. You know what I'm saying? I guess maybe not. But at the same time, it don't look like she had a lot of people in her life. I looked through her Instagram. It didn't seem like she was getting a lot of comments on her videos. She was just having crash outs. There was an instance where she was carrying a dead bird, making Chucky face filter. But she liked Chucky. She really was into horror movies. She liked Chucky and the Jason filter face. I mean, I love horror movies too, but it's like, at what point do you understand that a horror movie is a movie and you don't carry that into reality? Like, you don't kill people. Like, it's wild, it's wild. So again, is she crazy? By looking at her videos, at first I was like, man, she's a little off her rocker. Like, yeah, she's a little disturbed. She might be actually crazy. But then there's a difference between being crazy and acting crazy and just being a little disturbed. By looking at her mugshot picture, to me, man, I'm not an expert. I'm not an expert at these things, so I can't really speak in those terms and from that aspect. But me just judging by the look on her face, she doesn't look like somebody who is a psychopathic killer. Now, I might be completely off the mark on this one because quite evidently she did kill. She is quite evidently a killer. So the question is she a psychotic killer? Is she a crazy killer? Because there's people that kill, but they're not crazy. And those people are just called murderers. We lock those people up in prison. But then there's actually crazy people who really don't know what they're doing. And we send those people to like mental institutions. We lock them up, but just in a different way because they don't know what they're doing. It's not really punitive. It's more, rehabilitative, I guess. I guess that's the gist of it, I guess. But I don't know. See, because when I look in her eyes, like I said, I don't see a psychopath. I see somebody who's like, oh, damn, I killed somebody. I made a mistake. Like, oh, damn, I can't believe I crashed out like this. Oh, now I'm in prison. That's the face that I see when I look at her mugshot. Now, you tell me in the comment section what you see when you look at her mugshot. Does she look like a psychopath, or does she just look like somebody who made a mistake that ruined the rest of her life? You tell me. Also, there's the fact that she actually ran from the scene of the crime. Now, again, running from the scene of the crime doesn't necessarily point to guilt, but it does point to the fact that she knew that she did something wrong. And usually people that are crazy, they don't think that they're doing anything wrong. They don't know what they're doing. That's quite literally why they're crazy. That's how they get off, because they don't know what they're doing. Was this intentional? Yes, it was very much intentional, or predetermined, or this. She actually was sent home. She told her manager, I'll be back. She went to the park, got the knife from her car, came back, and killed her. Premeditation. This was premeditated. She knew exactly what she was doing. She planned it. She got the murder weapon to do it. This wasn't in the heat of the moment type of situation. She knew very well what she was doing. And then there's also the fact that she has priors specifically in regards to stabbing people. You know what I'm saying? So again, is she crazy, or was she just a little disturbed? And did she just crash out? Did she just snap? I think these are questions that we should be asking. But then again, we're not investigators. Like I said, I'm no expert in this. I'm not a psychology expert, or a criminal expert, or anything like that. So I can't really speak on this. This is just all my dumbass opinion, right? But to me, plus the fact that they gave her a $25 million bond, I don't think she's getting out. I don't think they want her out. I think they already know her for what she is, and ain't no way they're gonna throw the book at her. They're gonna throw the book at her, and she got priors too. They're gonna throw the book at her unless she could prove that she's crazy. And which, again, everything to me points that she's not crazy. She did make some crazy-esque videos, like some crazy-esque video. The videos are weird, I ain't gonna lie, but a person can make weird videos. Just because a person makes a weird video doesn't necessarily mean that they're crazy. You know what I'm saying? Crazy people, there's no rhyme or reason to them, though. You know what I'm saying? So we'll find out. That's another question to ask. Do you guys think that she's crazy, or do you think she was just a little disturbed and she made a mistake that's gonna haunt her for the rest of her life? You tell me. So like I said, Afeni had her arraignment in court already. They're already proceeding with things quickly for her. I'm telling you, I don't think that they think she's crazy. I think that they think she's a murderer, and they got all the evidence that they need, and they about to lock her up for life. She's already had her arraignment. They had an authority. I think he was like a sheriff, or I'm not sure if he was a sheriff or something like that, but he was somebody. I'll tell you right now. Right now. He was a detective, Detective Showers. They had him go in and make a sworn statement, basically, of what happened. Basically everything that I said. She was sent home. She came back with a knife, stabbed her manager. And basically they gave her a $25 million bond. Somebody else said that she had priors. The prosecution said she had priors. The defense argued that, hey, she was actually in an abusive relationship, and she was going through things financially. The judge wasn't trying to hear none of that. They're like, no, $25 million bond, not $1 million bond, not 5 million, not 2.5 million, $25 million cash bond. She ain't getting out. She ain't getting out. So she has another court hearing on July 23rd, as well as another one on the 30th of July. So they're proceeding steams ahead, whatever the saying is. They're gonna steamroll this case right on through. They want to get this over with. So, in conclusion, um, again, my heart really goes out to the family and the friends of Jennif Harris. This was a life that was gone too soon, just unnecessary and tragic. And I think that we'll be talking about this one for a while, just because of the nature of the case, the nature of the 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 murderer in question. You know, Afeni Muhammad, who she was, what she was going through, what was she thinking? Like we kind of need more answers in regards to this, you know. But that's all gonna come in due time. I think it's crazy that so many people were super insensitive about this story, and to the family of Jennif Harris, stating things like, or rushing to the insinuation that Jennifer was just a big bully, all because Afeni, the murderer, said so, and assuming that she got what she deserved, which is nonsense. Because even if you do bully somebody in the workplace, even if you do gossip about people, even if you are an a-hole, that does not warrant death. That does not mean that you kill someone. And if you are thinking of doing that, if you think that Afeni got it right, if you think that that is a correct response to being bullied in the workplace or being sent home early, or you think that Jennifer effed around and found out, I think you need serious help. I think you need to find serious help immediately. You need help. You stop it. Stop it. Just stop. Stop. Nobody deserves that. Yes, Afeni could have quit. She could have found. Don't talk to me about the economy. Anybody can get a job. You know how easy it is to make money? It's so easy. You make money on the internet. Go find another job. She worked at McDonald's. We're not talking about a career here. We're not talking about a trade. We're talking about a fast food restaurant. You know how many fast food restaurants there are? Apparently, McDonald's hired her after the fact that she had already been caught stabbing somebody else at a Taco Bell. She can't find another job in this economy. We're in Trump's economy. That's all Trump wants, for people to work. Are you stupid? Oh, don't. That is not an excuse. That's not an excuse. Bullying is not an excuse. The economy is not an excuse to not find another job. She could have reported this to management, upper management, passed over Jennifer's head. She could have called corporate. She could have made a video about it. Of course, she was making videos about it. So, she was making videos about it. But look, something could have and would have been done about her situation. There were solutions other than her taking someone's life. So don't give me that. If you think that she was right for that, you wrong as hell. And that's just what I got to say about that. Afeni Muhammad's Instagram has shot past, I believe, 22,000 followers now, all after everyone found out about what she did. So that just goes to show you there's a real sickness in society. And those 20 plus thousand people showed you. I went to her Instagram and I saw a lot of her videos. I did not follow her account. What do you think you're going to gain from following that account? A new video? I guess maybe. I mean, they do have phones in prison. Maybe she will make some more videos on her Instagram. I don't know. Do murderers routinely, regularly make videos on Instagram and TikTok? Or is that a thing? I know some prisoners do, but you tell me. I don't know. But I think it's crazy if you decided to follow her Instagram or TikTok. I haven't found her TikTok, so I don't know what her TikTok situation is. She probably blew up over there too. But I think you're wild for that. I don't know what you're hoping to gain from that. I don't know what you find appealing about following a murderer like that murders somebody so callously. She didn't murder. Like, I almost got more sympathy for people who wanted to follow Luigi Mangione, the guy who took out the United Health CEO, because at least in his mind, at least he was standing on something. He was standing on business. You know what I'm saying? Like, in his mind, he was standing up for what was right. And I guess in Afeni's mind, she was too. But these situations, to me, are not very, are they comparable? Not very comparable. I mean, one was sent home early from a fast food restaurant and came back, stabbed him up. One guy had no real relation other than the fact that he was a CEO of a healthcare company that Luigi Mangione had a relationship with. So he was mad about his own personal situation and decided to take it out on the CEO. Either way, either situation is wrong. Either situation is wrong, but you know what I'm saying? It just don't make a whole lot of sense to me. It just really don't. Why would you glorify so even when people are glorifying Luigi Mangione, I'm like, I don't really get it. I get why you feel like that's the correct response because he's the CEO of a healthcare company that routinely screws people over and denies healthcare coverage. I get all that. But at the end of the day, we don't know this guy from Adam. We don't know what kind of person he was. We just knew what kind of position he held. We don't know if Jennif Harris was a real bully or not. We just knew the position she held. One person, you know what I'm saying? Two different worlds, but still similar situations. I don't want to compare, but at the same time, I'm comparing. What do you guys think, man? This whole situation is crazy. Nothing about this situation makes sense to me. I just know that I'm glad that they found Jennif Harris. I'm glad that Good Samaritan was there to help keep Afeni on the scene. I'm glad she was arrested and she's off the street. I hope she never, ever gets back out into society. I don't think she's going to plead insanity. At least I don't think she'll win. I just don't see it unless they can really prove that no, she really didn't know what she was doing. You know what I'm saying? But you tell me in the comment section what you guys think about all this. All right. Love, peace, and light. Love more than you hate. Everybody go like this video, share, subscribe, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. And until the next time, be kind to each other. Take care of yourselves, all right, and each other, like Jerry Springer say. Until next time, I'm out, y'all. Peace.